All right, it looks like it's that time. Happy day, everybody. This is Dr. Osborne, just getting everything ready here. I have lots of thoughts for you, lots of love for you. And I think I just want to once again thank every single one of you that's actually taken the time to text my team to let us know that you're rooting for us. And just know that every bit of rooting for us that you've been doing, we've been rooting for you. And we just believe in you, and we just can't wait to get our hands on you and to turn that power back on. I think I do want to share with you, as we have a little bit of time, I wanted to share with you my health manifesto. It goes like this: I take responsibility for my health. Today, I choose gratitude and a smile. Health tastes sweeter than any craving that I'd ever have. I eat to live, not live to eat. My 10-minute workouts, my 12-minute workouts, they energize me. I will not wait for sickness and disease. I choose to build health. I will accomplish a life-changing shift in my health and others to do the same. Look, the greatest doctor in the world, where does he live? The greatest doctor in the world lives inside of me, and I'll never get today back. I choose to live for good. So it's kind of rough, but I think what's important to me is that, is that what your dominant thoughts are, right? Like, it took me time to put this down, but I want you to think about what my dominant thoughts were. This is where my thoughts have been. I once heard a HBO series, and the guy said that hell is getting to the end of your life, and getting to the end of your life and actually meeting that person you could have become. Imagine that. When it's all said and done, when we're on our way out of this place, how are we going to really look back at our lives? Like, we all have situations that occur. How do we always look back on them? Will we look back and regret, or will we look back with pride? And at the end of this period, will I kick myself for spending, 33 and a half hours a week, which is the average amount that somebody watches TV, right? Will I kick myself for spending 7 hours a week on average, at least, that people spend scrolling Instagram? Or will you be proud of the time that you actually spent being present with your kids and your family, and really working on creating the life that you want, and really being yourself, and instead of being who they wanted you to be, right? Like, we get so caught up in who everybody thinks that we should be that we don't even know who we are. And so when we're in our last days and we actually meet the person that we could have become, will we be able to look at that person in the eyes? Will we be able to say that we did our best, and will we look him in the eyes and say, I wish I had worked a little harder, right? Will I have to look you in the eyes next week? Or will I say, I wish I had worked a little harder for you this week? Will you be able to look yourself in the eyes and wish that you worked harder on your life? Just say no, right? Like that drug commercial, right? Don't just say no. Get all in with your life. It doesn't matter where you are and what you're doing. We want everything God has. Most people want everything that God has to offer without giving up anything. Let's just give up those excuses. Let's give up the complacency. Let's just dream big. Let's just go for it. There's nothing holding you back, right? Have you ever, you have ups and downs, but if you believe in something, if you keep the faith, you keep fighting, and you don't let people put you down. Look, I'm starting to vibrate right now. Like, I'm so excited about the thought of what is next, right? About the thought of this new makeover, what next week looks like. This is going to literally be the biggest opportunity that most of our patients have had all year to be amazing, maybe even the last year. Statistically, most new health resolutions have already been forgotten, right? Broken, given up on, or written off. So the opportunity, what makes me so exciting right now, is to literally get this second win and to go at this in a different way, right? It's time to be honest. What were your health goals, right? Last year, this year, what did you want to start or achieve? What did you really anchor into your why? Why did you make those goals? Why did you have those thoughts and those desires for change? Why did you feel those emotions when you sat down and wrote your New Year's resolutions that initiated those goals? And just be truthful and real with yourself about where you are right now, what you've been through, and especially where you want to go and why, right? What are you ignoring? What have you convinced yourself of? And I think we do a great job of this. What have we convinced ourselves of? That it doesn't matter at all, right? Have you convinced yourself that weight doesn't matter, your fitness doesn't matter, your diet doesn't matter, your sleep doesn't matter, your relationships with your spouse or your family doesn't matter, that irritable disposition that you have, your lack of motivation, your finances? I mean, look, we all make up stories that attempt to make up for the blind spots in the different areas of our lives. So what are yours, right? It's not an easy question, considering we're blind to it in the first place. But it's worth a thought. See, if you can't clearly identify some of those anchors, some of those things that are holding you back, just text me or email me or direct message me. I mean, we could just talk about it, but I can usually help clarify these things because I've dealt with hundreds and hundreds of people going through the exact same process. Every single excuse that you've ever heard, every single challenge, after literally 25 years and over 1 million patient encounters, I've heard everything. But more importantly, that's why we're putting this makeover together. Just register for the New Year makeover, right? This is where you're gonna find the path that becomes clear, right? So that and when you find it, it's gonna be motivating and it's gonna allow you to dig in. So, look hard, write down, list the facts, cut the story, even if it's just for a minute, and humor me. So when the story comes up, and a lot of times it sounds something like this: I've always been overweight. I just can't plan meals because of the kids, I have to eat multiple meals. My husband or my wife doesn't support me. I don't have the time, which doesn't apply now. My sleep sucks due to the kids waking me up. I don't have the money. I have a health issue. It runs in my family. Look, list out 3 reasons why you can do each thing, even if you believe that you can't. Make up something, make up some reason. List out why your situation is exactly what it should be, not what it is, right? These are just facts, and I don't want you to fear them. And that's Dr. Sherry calling. I don't want you to fear them, and that's why, let me get back to it. And that's why, sorry about that. That's why to have your why and the feelings it brings. Now list out your goals and desires. I mean, list what they are and how you're going to do them differently to achieve them, and why, and expand these goals to include at least, I don't know, one of the areas that you've been ignoring with your story, right? Like what's one area, because of these great stories, that it allows you to ignore? What do you need to start? What sort of structure do you need? What kind of coaching or assistance do you need? Like, what are the resources that you need to be able to go? Don't tell me about the challenges. Tell me what you need as far as the resources. What changes in your schedule or priorities? I mean, who will you enroll to be on your team? I want to be part of your team. Just list it out, think about it. And if you can't think of any stories, here's some easy ways to uncover some what we call common health stories. First thing you can do to find out if there's really a story is weigh yourself on a SMART scale. One that measures your body fat, your BMI, your water, your muscle, your metabolic rate, your visceral fat, and so on and so forth. Number 2, you can get a blood test. The standard plus fasting blood insulin. You can actually get testosterone, you can get estrogen, you can check your vitamin D, your C-reactive protein. Try this. Go running for a mile and record the experience. Or you can buy a blood glucose monitor and, or a blood pressure cuff, or measure your heart rate variability. You can get a little app on the App Store. How about if you just grab a little tailor's tape and measure around your belly button, greater than 35 in your waist and 40, for a woman, and greater than 40 for a male, is a positive indicator that you have metabolic syndrome. It's literally a personal inventory, guys, is a powerful thing. So if we can see past our own stories and just be honest with ourselves, it might be just what you need to revive those resolutions, right? Redefine those goals and to get into action for what you truly want. See, I know it was for me. At one time, I was 285 pounds. I made all the excuses, but then I made the changes. So the good news is there's a different way to approach all of this, and that can help. So just keep an eye out. There's going to be a lot more of this coming. Watch for Dr. Doss and watch for Dr. Sherry. Just forget the excuses. Register at the link below today, and I will see you on the other side. Blessings. This is Dr. Osborne. Until tomorrow.